oldest Bible has been translated. When the book was discovered, in nearly perfect condition, the press went wild. They found what predated the oldest known Bible, complete and in miraculous shape, by nearly 3,000 years. A set of strikingly familiar stories were entombed in the unnaturally well-preserved and carbon-dated Holy Book. Each of the stories were far darker than any version that had ever been remodeled to suit the morals of which the society has since held. It was shorter as well, at 444 pages, and as the book's translation began and the excerpts made their way into the news, we soon discovered why. It began with God creating the universe in 6 days, choosing not to take a seventh to rest. God was described in unsettling detail, however. His insectile claws and writhing tentacles, shaping objects, while fiendish jaws laughed during the manic creation. Other similarities arose as well, but they grew stranger as each section was translated. After God ripped out Adam and Eve's ribs, licking their blood up, he demanded that all firstborn be sacrificed as blood offerings. Only the second child and on could live. The story of Noah and the flood was in it too. But the animals were used for heinous acts in order to create abominations for his amusement. God was often described as cackling his many-fanged mouths in the joy of the suffering of mankind, and licking blistered lips during forced acts of brutality. In fact, it became clear when passengers were referenced and covered less frequently by the press that something absolutely hideous had been unearthed. It became clear why everyone would want to clean up graphic stories. The 10 Commandments were missing entirely. The 7 deadly sins were listed. There was daily atonements to be spared for engaging in when God finally returned. Translators puzzled and explored all other possible interpretations, but it soon became clear that this version seemed to also prophesize accurate future events, disasters and wars. Such were praised for a world involved in war, and many other notable massacres. The Bible referenced world powers rising and building blocks being split to create great weapons, scarily familiar to the atom bomb. Religious wars and conflicts were predicted. Even the falling of a metropolis tower, listing 2,996 dead as on 9/11. As the last 200 words were being translated, the entire world was reading and listening along. In growing trepidation, the last few pages described the billions to be stripped of their skin, to rot in the red sun, and to be pecked of their meat upon the God's catastrophic return. The very last page explained that the sky would bleed during his arrival, commencing shortly after the book's own self-referenced translation, when all would scramble to kill their firstborn. I read, last word of the translation finished the feed, then turned in horror as the night sky flowed crimson before the screams out of the window began.